Welcome, guys, to Nigerian Conscience. Let's talk about some of the issues that are plaguing the Nigerian society. As you are aware, and not all is actually well with Africa, not all is well with Nigeria. But before we dive down into the issues plaguing Nigeria, let's talk about the issue in Mozambique. That issue right now, it's very, very critical because I'll be showing you some footage from a video.
Within minutes, South African military helicopters arrive, and what we witness is a day of
So this is a
dramatic
video
rescue.
of the rescue operation in
This
Mozambique
pilot
currently.
hovers perilously above an overloaded bus and between overhead power lines. It is skillful and brave flying, and these people owe their lives to it. The wheels of this helicopter were in the water as it evacuated the passengers of a stricken truck. The people of Chokwe had no warning of the deluge. It came in the dead of night as they slept. We flew on one mission and witnessed the sheer desperation of the people trapped here. The water had now risen several feet in just a few hours. It had become an undignified scramble for survival. But for these people, particularly the children, fighting their way onto this helicopter could be the difference between life or death. So many people are stranded here, the crews can barely cope. One man refused to let go, even as the helicopter lifted off. Eventually, he was hauled in. With each rescue, there are always people left behind. Those who make it are flown to the nearest dry land, joining others who manage to escape on foot. It is a battle with nature this country is losing. Late this afternoon, thousands remain to be rescued in Chokwe alone. South Africa's rescue crews are doing the best they can, but 5 helicopters are simply not enough to do the job. This is a crisis that has suddenly worsened, and this evening Mozambique, one of the poorest countries in the world, needs help. Mark Austin, ITN, Chokwe, Mozambique. Mark Austin, ITN, for Public.
So you can see the situation at the it's a very, very terrible situation in Mozambique right now, a country that has 1.5 million people under such a crisis. So it's something that actually needs our help. So in any way you can actually reach to help, these are the issues that will actually help, not the things that we do in our country where we want the whole world to know when we are helping somebody. These are not things. If you see the images coming from Mozambique, they are very terrible images, and it's not something we want to really talk about. Now I have some concerns because my channel, it's called the Nigerian Concerns Network, and it's not just really the news. It's talking about the concern, the things that are plaguing the Nigerian society, and what are some of the stuffs that we can actually do to actually alleviate those kind of things. Um, it's not too long where I was a little kid, maybe 6 or 7. In those days where we never had the television, but we went out to watch TV until we got our own television. But in those days, some of the stuffs we saw on the media were instructional. Even now, I will search YouTube some of the times to see if I can actually get movies that are old movies, because some of them are very helpful. They are imparting, they are inspirational, they teach you this is wrong, this is right, choose what is right, and all that. But I want to talk about the Nigerian media today. If this thing continue, if this thing continue in Nollywood, the Nigerian society is going to keep going down and down and down. You already know now, rape is prevalent on our media, sex is prevalent on our media, violence is being glorified on the media, and all these things are continuing, and just few people are speaking. Let's not destroy the fabric of our society. There is no nation that is powerful enough to destroy Nigeria, but Nigeria will destroy herself. And I want to talk about the news media that is in Nigeria right now. You see the Channels TV, the AITs, the TVC, and the other hundreds of the radio stations or the bloggers and all that. Many of those people are not actually saying the truth. And if these agencies are hiding the truth from the people, it's not a very, very good one. One day, it's going to blow up. So, the Nigerian society is actually dying right now. And we have to do something to fix this problem. Then we talk about the Nigerian leadership scenario. The Nigerian leadership scenario is a scenario where once you grab power, you take that power and you witch hunt another group. We see Buhari, who is called a Mr. Integrity, witch hunting other people. Now, I will call it witch hunting because witch hunting is when there are two kids in a place. You are supposing you are a teacher and there are two kids in a classroom. One of them is your child and then the other is not your child. Two of them are making noise. You make a rule. You should not make noise in this classroom. And then the two of them are making noise. And two of them have their names being investigated for noise making. Because you're the teacher, you discipline one or you go after one and you don't go after the other. What is that? That is called witch hunting. But if you apply the same thing you do for the stranger to your child, it is called what? It's called you're fighting corruption. But if you apply it to one person and you don't apply it to another person, it's called witch hunting. And if we're doing these things, it's going to destroy the core fabric to which the Nigerian society is. Nigeria has never been more divided than ever before. Let's talk about the Oge Okoye story because I want to talk about the lies in the Nigerian media. Even while we have social media, I think people are abusing these stuffs. People should be left alone. People should be left alone. The era, we're not saying you should not report on people's life. We're not saying you should not report on good. We're not saying you should not report on bad. But you have to be very, very careful on what you actually report. When you are reporting lies, it's not going to last. Just understand this thing. When you're reporting lies, it's not going to last. It's not going to last. So be very, very, very careful because you can actually divide a nation by the way you report things. Now, the Oge Okoye story is a very simple stuff. She went there for something. It's a church. Why are we not reporting? If a person goes to hospital, what did the person go to the hospital for? If bloggers can report somebody going to the toilet, they will report. If people on Instagram can report somebody who is having their bath, who is sleeping, they will report. If somebody is divorced, they will report. If somebody is eating, they will report. If somebody is dancing, you look at the media, there is no regionalism in Nigerian media today. Our bloggers, what are they blogging? It's even tiring to read blogs nowadays. It's very tiring to read blogs nowadays. If it's not this actress is twerking, this musician is doing this, this one snapped a picture, and look at the picture he snapped. It's just tiring. There is nothing our media are actually reporting right now. And do you know why? It's because we who are consuming these stuffs we want garbage. The musicians, they come, they sing. What are they singing? They're singing love. Your love will kill me. Baby, I won't die. And there are people who are buying these songs. And we're wondering why the Nigerian society is like this. So people should be very, very careful because when you report news in a wrong way, it can actually destroy the fabric of the society. And I want to say that also in relation with Dunamis and the traders. There is something in Nigeria now, Nigerian media, it's called falsehood, and the second thing is called hate, especially against the church. Any news at all against a man of God, whoosh, it's been spread. I'm of the opinion that people should speak against wrong. But people should not speak against wrong that they've not verified. Don't be too quick to rush into conclusions. If you're too quick to rush into conclusions, that is called hatred. So I'm saying these things because the other day I made a video that Nigerian society is dying, and some of the things that have been responsible for this stuff. It's time for people to wake up. So guys, I will end this video here. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, even as we make more videos.